Gregory Rabbit Stewart, an admitted 13-time killer. Now, this dude right here was a serious individual who came from the city of New Orleans. I'm going to tell you a story about a 16-year-old kid who came from the projects of New Orleans, right? He was took under the wing of two kingpin drug dealers from two different neighborhoods. I believe one was the 3rd Ward and one of the drug dealers came from the 9th Ward. And this kid was took under their wing right after the time Katrina happened, because the story starts after he gets out of juvenile hall, and these two guys take this kid and they have him going back and forth to Texas, because that's where they had relocated when Katrina had happened, right? So they take this young kid and I think he was in jail for auto theft, right? Car robberies, jacking cars and stuff like that. So they take this kid, they take him under this wing, and they take him to Texas, and they're taking him out there, and they're buying like keys of heroin. Heroin is really big in the city of New Orleans, right? I don't know what city you guys are from, but heroin and fentanyl and all that type of stuff right now, it's big all over the United States right now. It's a really big thing, fentanyl, and that's what they use to cut that heroin with too. But anyway, back to the story. So they take this kid and they're going down and they're buying these keys of heroin from the Mexican cartel, and they're bringing it back to New Orleans and they're cutting it. They're buying one key. Out of one key, I think they're buying the key for maybe $90,000, but they're cutting like 2 more keys out of that one key. So for that $90,000, they're getting 3 keys. So they take this kid down there, bring him back to New Orleans, set him up in a hotel, and give him a car, and he starts slinging. Start getting his own little crew, start making money, and he starts slinging, making money. And you know what comes along with selling drugs, especially in the city of like New Orleans. You got to keep your reputation straight, so murders start to happen, right? So we're going to get into the story about Gregory Rabbit Stewart, aka Rabbit, right? We're going to get into the story about this kid, young kid, right? And 13 kills, 13 murders before the age of 20. So just stay with me, because this story is very fascinating. Stay with me. I just want you guys to check the story out and tell me what you think about it. Rowdy Nation TV, welcome back to the channel. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, so anytime I drop a video, you guys can be notified. So let's get to it. Now, like I said before, Gregory Rabbit Stewart, he was a killer, serial killer, really. He was a heroin dealer, and he also was a snitch. He was a government informant. Now, this man spent 4 days on the witness stand testifying about the 13 kills that he did against against 10 of his co-defendants. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something right now. If you out in the street and you stepping and you doing this, I don't condone it, first of all. But I just like to say, if I'm out there in the street, man, and I done killed 13 people, why am I snitching? You know what I'm saying? I think that it's a shame that the government would even entertain the thought of letting somebody out who killed 13 people. I mean, there's nobody else you can tell on. If it came to me, I got you. You are good enough. There's no the other people that did their killings or whatever, because you're never getting out. Now, you may can tell and maybe try to get to a certain prison that you might want to spend your time at. But as far as you getting out of jail, that's never going to happen after you took the life of 13 people. Now, I digress, and we're going to get back to Gregory Rabbit Stewart. Now, testified against 10 of his partners that he ran the street with, that he gave guns to. They named these guns, by the way. They had names, not pet names, but they had names for these guns. You know what I'm saying? One was called Monkey Nuts, because it had the 2 drums on the bottom of the gun. It was called Monkey Nuts. And what makes it so cold, that these guys, actually, you see in the video that I'm showing right here in the video, they had some artists that they made good music. They were making good music. They could have easily started their record label, and the artists, some of the guys who are in jail right now today, in one of these videos, the guy who's in that video, I think he killed like 5 people. And that's we'll get into that later, but he killed like 5 people. But anyway, Gregory Rabbit Stewart, it was unfortunate that this young kid had to hook up with these two brothers from these two different gangs. I mean, not gangs, but two different neighborhoods. And one was from the 3rd Ward and one was from the 9th Ward. And that's how people just started calling them the 39ers. And they took that name and they ran with it. But the most prolific stepper that was in the group was this 15-year. I mean, yeah, it was. I think at the time his first kill was like 15 years old. He had hooked up with these two guys from the 3rd Ward and from the 9th Ward. One was called Daryl Franklin Breezy, and the other one was Merle O'Fay. And Merle O'Fay, right now, he's passed away, but Daryl Franklin Breezy, he's locked up right now also. Now, you guys got to understand, this story that I'm bringing to you that's coming from the city of New Orleans, this happened about, well, like I said, they started hustling in 2005. When did he get busted? I think he got busted in like 2010, so maybe he's been in jail for maybe 12, 13 years. So the brother right now probably maybe about 30 years old, 31 years old, or something like that. But he's been in jail all this time trying to fight this case, trying to score a deal with the prosecution. He's a very manipulative young man. Now, like I said, that's just my opinion. That's why all you guys out there running the street and you hooking up with your homeboy and you think they gonna ride for you, but once they get up under them lights, man, and nowadays, it seems like the first one that come get the better deal, and that's what everybody's doing now. You know what I'm saying? That's with these young kids. They with this social media, they want everybody to know what they're doing. So I don't understand how anybody can be out there doing any type of crimes with anybody. You should be doing. If I don't condone it, but if you're doing anything, I suggest you probably should do it by yourself. Now, he said he working on the book, I told you that in the beginning, and the title of the book is called "How the Rabbit Took Down the 39ers." Man, this brother right here is something else, man. You done killed 13 people, rode with some of the people you telling on, gave some of the people the guns, and now you want to write a book talking about how how the rabbit took down the 39ers. They said it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, and it damn sure ain't, because this brother told on 10 people. And I'm gonna put the pictures up here. I hope you see these pictures right. These are 10 of his homies, his partners. You know how they do on the street, call each other, man. That's my loved one. That's my day one. All those words didn't mean nothing when he got locked up. You know, we started from we jumped off the porch together. All that didn't mean nothing when he got locked up. Now, this dude, when he got on the stand, Stewart acknowledged that it was his barrage of 40 caliber bullets from a Glock 27 handgun that killed the rapper Renata. I hope I'm saying that. Renata Magnolia Shorty. Magnolia Shorty. Do you guys know who she is? I never really listened to her music myself. It's the bounce scene. And she got signed with Cash Money. Now she's an acclaimed rapper. And the target wasn't, that's like one of his most prolific hits. But she wasn't the target. It was a dude named Man Hampton. And the reason why they was looking for Man Hampton, because they're saying that McCoy, Merle O'Fray gave the order. Now he's the leader. He's one of the leaders, him and Breezy. Like I said, he's the two kingpins. And they got this boy started. They got this boy right here started on his very first murder, and ever since then he just went ham. He just went nuts after that. But these two took him on his very first murder. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. We're not gonna go through all these murders. It had to be too time consuming. But I will tell you this: you could go watch this channel, because I listened to this whole case on Crown TV. I'm giving it to you guys right now. If you want to go to Crown TV, it's a good channel. They have all the top court cases, and this is how I found this case. And I listened to everything with this dude. I listened to the whole court case. Now, this is what he said. He goes, when we got to the car, she was already shot. So out the gate, everybody got to go who's in the car. She's going to be a witness, Stewart said. She didn't do anything wrong, replied Michael Rapsonati, the attorney for the defendant of Curtis Neville. Now, you figure this dude right here, there's 10 co-defendants. While he's in the court, there's 10 lawyers because each 10 defendant have their own lawyer, right? They're fighting this case. And in each one of these, let me tell you too, this crew of right here, this is straight killers. Each one of the 10 defendants that he's testifying against has one or more murders themselves. Now this guy, he took the cake because he has 13. And you see what he did? He ran straight to the prosecutor. He ran straight to the prosecutor, and now he's turning his homies in, turning his homeboys in. Man, that's this dude right here, bro. This is what you're dealing with when you in the streets, right? So you guys can know while you out there sipping it up, drinking and all this other stuff and doing what you're doing, especially if you're committing murders. This is what you're dealing with. Now, Stewart returned to the witness stand. After 2 or 3 days, the federal prosecutor blatantly turned over correspondences among Stewart, his attorneys, and assistant attorneys. These documents indicated a firm agreement that Landau to file a motion for leniency on Stewart's behalf, assuming he continued to cooperate with the government. Now you heard that? They saying that Landau, that's the head prosecutor, he's gonna write a document, gonna write to the judge. And you guys don't know. I don't know if you know. They got a king for a day deal. I think they got the letter. What is that letter called? Can somebody get in my comments? Called is a letter. What is that letter called? Is it a letter 31 or some kind of letter that you can get? I'm sorry, I can't remember it right now, but somebody can jump in my comment section and let me know what that is if you know what I'm talking about. Some kind of letter that you can get. It's like, I know they got that king for a day deal where you just tell on everybody, but you got to tell everything. You can't, if they come and they find out that you ain't told everything and they find something later, whatever charges they was going to charge you with, they'll take that off and they'll give you that time. That happened to one of those mob guys that I seen on one of the channels. You know what I'm saying? He was a stone killer too. And they was going to give him a deal. But he lied. He didn't tell him everything. Now, the defense attorneys asked U.S. District Judge Jay Zaney to throw out the 47-count indictment against the 10 defendants, to strike the entire testimony of both Gregory Rabbit Stewart and Daryl Breezy Franklin. I told you, Daryl Breezy Franklin, that's the other guy, the other kid who was the leader. That's the gang's lead heroin supplier who testified earlier in his case. That's because when he found out that Gregory Rabbit Stewart ran into and was trying to get a deal, he said to himself, well, man, I'm gonna try to get a deal too. I'm not gonna go deep and try to find all that, man, because that's just a lot of work, man. But he said, I'm gonna try to get a deal too. He found out that Gregory Rabbit Stewart was cooperating with the government, so he said, I'm gonna try to cooperate too. But check this out. He cooperated, and from what I understand, he still got life. He still got life in the feds. After getting on the stand, and you're the lead man. You're the one who's giving the drugs to these guys. You're the one who's out there telling these guys to go kill this person, kill not all of them, but sometimes you guys put the guns in their hands and told them who to hit. And now you understand? That's no respect for me, bro. I don't that's no respect for me. You gonna get out and still got life. Man, you should have took it on the chin like a man. You had your fun when you was out there. You know what I mean? You did what you did. You know what you was doing. These brothers, they be talking about street this, street that, but then when they get hit, what they do? They fold like a napkin. Fold up and they tell everything, bro. That's the part, that part there. You know what I'm saying? That part there, man. That's just some that's weak sauce, man. That's weak sauce. That's why I'm a civilian, bro. I don't claim to do all that crazy nonsense, man. There are some brothers that are out there that take their time and do what they got to do, but there's not many of them. That's why this guy right here done killed 13 people. He had people terrified of him on the street. You see what I'm saying? But as soon as he went to jail, man, it's all about me now. I ain't trying to spend the rest of my days in jail. But he need to. He doesn't need to get out. Now, Stewart acknowledged spending many days with prosecutors preparing for his testimony. And several defense attorneys suggested that his quick recall of specific shooters and the guns they used represented diligently honed falsehoods, saying that he lied, that he's making this stuff up. I wasn't there. I don't know. I'm just giving you this information because I'm getting it off the internet just like everybody else. I wasn't there. That's the first thing. If anybody know about this story that I'm telling to you guys, relaying to you, and if anything that I'm missing, let me know and tell me what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that this is exactly what happened. This is what I'm getting. But on Crown TV, and when I listened to the information, because this is what came out the court documents, so this story that I'm reading here sounds pretty much exact to what happened on Crown TV when I listened to the court. I'm talking about court documents. You can go read the whole court the whole transcription of this guy on the stand. I think he was on the stand. It was in days, but it was some hours, right? It was some hours and hours and hours that he was on the stand. Now he testified that he was stringing along the feds at a time. That was at the beginning. He was stringing along the feds, just trying to commit. I'm just gonna tell him about this murder, but I'm not gonna tell him about that murder. But that ain't gonna work because you ain't gonna get that king for a day deal by doing shit like that. See, he young, he don't know. See what I'm saying? So he testified he was stringing the feds along, pointing them only toward the crimes by the gang's two leaders. So he's about to turn the two dudes who turned him on off. That's what he just said. Franklin and Merle O'Fray. Now, Merle was killed in 2013. Now, see, he was about to be indicted, but he was out. And the only reason he was the last one to get indicted, and maybe, you know, it's unfortunate that he was the last one because he ended up losing his life, but he was about to get indicted. But he until he, because I think, right, they said he pleaded guilty in 20, and no, they was about to indict him. That's right. But he got killed at some club. Now, with his guilty plea to 3 murders, Stewart also admitted to joining in on an assault on Lowe in Hampton. Now, that's the Magnolia Shorty lady that I was telling you about. So Stewart flatly admitted to all those killings on the witness stand with no sign of remorse, no sign of contrition. I knew dudes wanted to kill me and my friends, so you know what I did? I got aggressive and said, whenever we catch someone, we're going to kill them. That's what he testified to. Stewart said he participated but did not fire a weapon in his first killing in 2007 when he was 16 years old. He said he learned that the best way to kill was first shoot at the body, then stand over the target and finish him off. He said he joined up with O'Fray and Franklin after returning to the streets in 2009, following a stint in a state juvenile detention. His gang based around Franklin's mother's house in the 1300 block of Gallier Street in the upper 9th Ward was known as the G Strip. That's where they sold a lot of drugs over there off that G Strip. It would soon join forces with 3 and G. Now, that's a violent drug dealing group named for the stronghold around 3rd and Galville Street in Central City, and with the others from the area of the former Florida housing projects. So you got people from 3rd and Galvez, you got people from the upper 9th Ward by the G Strip, and then you also got people by the Florida housing project. If there's anybody who's listening to this story and they live in New Orleans and they know anything about those areas, I appreciate it if you drop me a comment and let me know if you know about these people, if you heard about this story, if just some information on this, you know, just to let me know if the information we're getting off of here is right, and if you know, and if you know something, it'd be good to hear it from somebody who lived in that area. Now, the alliance, as the federal authorities have described it, sought out control of the heroin trade in the 3rd and 9th Ward. Now, so you know, if you got these two gangs, right, one from the 3rd Ward, one from the 9th Ward, and they done hooked up together, right, they ain't the only people out there trying to make money, right? There's other people out there trying to get paid too. So they say they started having DJ parties and stuff like that. Girls start calling them the 39ers. When they started calling us that, we just ran with it, Stewart said. it was a good name, like the 49ers football team. So we just went along with it. Now, federal prosecutors also said have treated the jury to scores of wiretap calls in which Stewart and several other defendants can be heard discussing drug quantities, the whereabouts of weapons, and in one case, a scheme to kill a rival they ran across at the Lakeside Mall. So these guys are being tapped. They're being listening to, of course, with a big case like this, with all these murders and stuff, they're tapping these dudes. And the jury, I can imagine this case went on for a long time. That's why I was just wondering if you guys haven't heard. That's why I wanted to bring you this case. This case, because it went under my radar until I seen it on Crown TV. Now, Stewart said the recordings along with the ballistic test lend credence to his testimony about all the killings, right? He said that's what Stewart is saying. You can match my testimony up with the wiretaps and tell that I'm not lying. You can tell that I'm giving up, all the beans, right? Now, several of the defense attorneys keyed on a chummy jail phone call between Stewart and Landau. Now, Landau is the lead prosecutor. I think this dude, man, I listened to the Crown TV. I think the prosecutor was infatuated with this kid. I think he was trying to get some money, like he was trying to get like a movie deal or something. That's what I think, man. Because he promised this dude, man, this dude said he was trying to get this dude out. Now, I don't think he was stringing him along. I think this dude was like, I think this kid kind of blew his mind that a 20-year-old kid killed 13 people like that, and I think, listening to him tell him about all his escapades on the streets and all the things that he did, I think the dude was infatuated with it. I think he was caught up. I think he was starry-eyed. You know what I'm saying? He said that Mitch Landau, in which Stewart sought to transfer credit for his cooperation to a friend who faced separate charges. Stewart also sought leniency for Mark St. Pierre, a former city contractor who was convicted of bribing former Mayor Ray Nagin to secure millions of dollars in a no-bid contract. Now, he's in jail, right, in the federal penitentiary. This kid, right, who's a drug dealer, he ain't graduated. He done killed 13 people, and now he's in here asking the lead prosecutor, because he's working with the prosecutor now, for lenience for this guy right here, Mark St. Pierre, a former city contractor. This white dude right here. So what do you think? He's in there, man. Y'all know where he's going with it, right? I'm reading this to y'all right off the rip right now. You know where he's going with it. This dude is in there paying for protection to this kid. He might be cool with him. He probably is real cool with him, but he paying for it. He being protected. Stewart became acquainted with St. Pierre at St. Charles Parish Jail, where many federal defendants are housed. He admitted that St. Pierre's wife put money on his jail account, but he denied it was in exchange for his request on behalf of the convicted white-collar criminal. Okay? He said he denied that part. I looked out for him, made sure he was straight. St. Pierre was like a good dude. He ain't never been in jail before. When he around black dudes, he's scared. That's what Stewart said. What does that sound like to y'all? Sound like I'm protecting him. You think that kid gonna do it for free? You think this 13-time admitted killer who's snitching on 10 of his co-defendants gonna do it for free? No. He took the same criminal mind that he had on the street, he took it straight to the jail. You think he gonna change? He gonna do the same thing he did on the street, he gonna do in the jail. Now this is what he said. He said he put money on my books because I helped him out. Okay, I can believe that. You might didn't scare him or nothing, you know what I'm saying? You might be like, man, I can get you out and you can help me out. Because this is a white-collar crime, right? This dude right here got big money, millions and millions of dollars. So this kid probably know a good lick when he see one. Not to, I ain't going to beat him up. I ain't got to beat you up to get the money. I can beat the people up who's messing with you, and you can, to protect you and get the money. You see what I'm saying? I can do it that way. Now, Stewart, who acknowledged playing a chess game with federal authorities leading up to his guilty plea, said he was planning ahead in befriending St. Pierre. I'm thinking about my future, he said. When I get home, he can look out for me and get me a job. He's a businessman. I gotta read that again. I'm thinking about my future. when I get home, he can look out for me and get me a job. He's a businessman. Am I lost here? There's people in jail, man. They got drug cases, man, and no, they ain't never gonna get out. This dude right here got 13 murders under his belt, and he talking about his future. I don't think your future is right where you at, bro. You know what I'm saying? Right where you at. And if they let this young man in anybody's community, in anywhere in the United States, the justice system need their ass kicked. I'm just saying, the justice system need their ass kicked if they let him out in anybody's community. Now, in a letter to Landry, Stewart declared he was on Team USA all the way. I'm Team USA all the way. I'll tell on my mama if I got to. He didn't say that, but I'm just saying. That's what he declared. I'm Team USA all the way. You don't have to second guess me at all. He also suggested that Landry seek to persuade a judge to resentence him to 15 to 20 years in prison with lifetime probation instead of life terms he's serving. Okay? So they say he's serving a life term, but he's trying to get this dude to switch it up because he's still telling, right? They gave him life. But dude said he gonna write a letter depending upon what he telling them on the stand. You heard what he said. I'm Team USA all the way. So he's finna tell everything. And he said that in the beginning when I first started reading this. But in another letter to defendant Jasmine Perry, he declared, I'm still a G until I die. Stewart has likened himself to a former mobster turned informant, Sammy the Bull Gravano. That's what they call me, Sammy the Bull now. And he turned boastful and trumpeting his murderous bona fides while under cross-examination. So you hear him? He got boastful when he got cross-examined on the stand. You got to be a gangster to kill somebody. We still the same. If they have never caught us, we still been killing the same people. We have just been getting our body counts up, he said. We the same people. We just got caught up in this moment right now. You want this brother back on the street? You heard what he said? You got to be a gangster to kill somebody. We still the same. We still the same. He ain't lying. He telling you right there. You got to be a gangster. I'm still the same. I'd still be killing if I wasn't in jail. And you talking about letting him out? I hope that was just a facade. I hope this guy was just being led astray by that prosecutor. I hate to say it, but I hope that prosecutor just led him astray just to get the information and just to lead him thinking like, yeah, man, you're going to get out. Yeah, man, just let him think that he's going to get out. Because I cannot fathom this young brother on the street again. I could say I'm a G until an NIGGA put me in my place, he added. Now, what that is, they nothing. They dead. You can say what you want until somebody prove you wrong. Those are his words, not mine. Stewart, who said he was high on marijuana, stop right there. I ain't even going no further. Don't even bring that in. That means nothing. You know how many people don't even, I hate when people try to, I was high on marijuana. He said, okay, let me get back to it, man, because this is about to piss me off. Stewart, who said he was high on marijuana for every one of his 13 killings, dismissed the idea that his blood ran ice cold. However, you think when I go kill somebody, when I'm about to turn the corner, what my heart be doing? My heart be beating because you don't know whether it's going to be your time. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. You don't know if it's going to be your time. If you ain't scared, you ain't human. So he's trying to say his heart ain't cold because his heart be beating when did he misunderstand what they said, man? You have a, I think he misinterpreted. I think these brothers are not smart at all. You know what I mean? But it's some smartness. There's some intelligence in what he's saying, though, because, you know, these are the type of people you want to stay away from. These are the type of people you do not want in your community, right? These people right here. These are the type of people that, you know what I'm saying? For all these young brothers that's out there that you grow up with when you young and you think that life has no better way and you're around these type of cats right here, trust me, man, it get great. It get greater later, man. Stick in there, man. You ain't got to be out there I think that's the trap right there, that think that we can't work and get it. We can, bro. We can work and get it. We all done fell victim to it in every nation, in every city, neighborhood, or town. You know what I'm saying? Some cities got more lion, tigers, and bears and wolves in the streets, right? But there's still, you know what I'm saying? It's still the same shit in all these different cities. But in some cities, it's just turned up more. You know what I'm saying? 400 degrees in New Orleans, right? That's 400 degrees. But like I said, this kid right here, I hope he never gets out of jail. To all the victims that these people have killed in the streets that they tore up in the city of New Orleans. I mean, there's killers out there. This is just one set of people, and I think the group total with this investigation, man, it's probably like 30 murders, man. 30, 40 murders, man. 30, 40 murders. 13 to this kid right here. But if you add them all up together, man, it's probably like about 30, 40 murders these people done did, man. And that's the murders that he done told about, that they know about. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if the other guys done did murders and never told nobody. You see the other 10 people, the other 10 co-defendants, we don't know their full history and all the stuff they done did. But since he was off the porch and was just sick with it, didn't even care about anything else, they got him first. He was notorious. His name rang bells in the streets. You see him coming, you better go the other way. And a lot of times people didn't see him coming. Rowdy Nation TV, click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. So anytime I drop a video, you guys can be notified. I'm out.